Hi guys, good morning and welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Wow, these tops are getting tight. I think it's because I'm going to the gym too much. I am Sparta! Maybe not. Nice though, no? Yeah, these are the brand new designs that have just come in. Yeah, hi guys, and it's lovely, it's a beautiful day today. I'll show you, look. Can you see? Look! There's actually a cloud running across the top, so you can't see Africa. I don't know if you can see on it, but anyway, hi guys. It's a beautiful day here. We're in November and what are we on? The 20th, I think. So we've got 4 days to go, and then people from all over the world, America and I don't know, Dominican Republic and Mexico, they're all coming here for a 4-day pure energy healing course. They're coming to learn how to strengthen themselves, and what a beautiful topic it is today to be able to share with you the reason why I'm doing this topic and the fact that there's a course coming on. I'm going to start from the very beginning, guys. This topic of conversation is all about IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. It is growing and growing and growing and growing. There are many millions of people who are suffering with many different forms of IBS, whether it's just occasionally or whether it's full-blown attacks like I had for most of my life. So why am I talking about IBS? Well, I'm talking about it is because I have I would say 100% knowledge on it because I suffered from it. And I think anybody who's ever suffered from it and then can say that they conquered it and that they no longer have it, which is medically proven, that's me. So I think I am able to talk about this topic very well. Now, I have talked about this topic before in Italy, and I think I talked about it in Ibiza once. And it took probably about 3 or 4 hours to talk about it. So there's no way I'm going to get all the way through this, but I'm going to try and simplify it down. So if you suffer with IBS, it may give you some indication of what you may need to do to heal your body and yourself, okay? Right then. As a little child, okay, I had a beautiful mother, as a lot of you already know. Marissa was her name. And as you know, our understanding of life is a lot to do with knowledge and what we're taught and told. And a lot of the times we listen to people that we feel know what they're talking about, which is the doctors. One of the things back in the early 60s, well, middle 60s, was well, there were quite a few things actually in Italy. One of them was drinking your own urine. Did you know that? Oh, when I heard about that, I thought that was disgusting, but apparently it's meant to be amazing. Anyway, don't ask me why I've just said that. I recall a memory of it as a child. I haven't drunk any, by the way. No, you drink it. No. Mine was what I did every morning, what my mum did for me, because she thought it was the right thing to do, was to give me 2 raw eggs in a glass with milk, because that's what she was told. So every morning, all my life, up until the day my mum died, or 3 months before when she went into hospital, she would, Marco, and then, and I remember my friends looking at me when I said, I can't go until I have my 2 eggs. And they used to go, that is disgusting. And it's true, it was just disgusting. But I did it because that's what my mum believed was the right thing to do, bless her. We come to realise now, IBS, part of IBS is eating something that we have a lot of, i.e. me, I had a lot of eggs. So my body became allergic to eggs. It just said no more eggs, but my mum didn't realise that. So as a child, I used to suffer with stomachache. And I want to tell you something now which is quite amazing. My mum didn't even know this. We were going to Italy on a coach, just me and my mum, and the attack came, the stomach pain came, and I lay down, and she used to just put a hand on my stomach, and within 5 minutes it was gone. Remember that? My mum was a healer and she didn't even know, which most of you guys are out there. You're all healers, but you don't know it. That's why the course is so amazing, because when you come after 4 days, you realize, geez, I have got a gift, which you have. So that's one point, bear in mind, okay? Eggs. So as I got older, 18, 19, 20, 21, if I put an egg inside my body, any form, coleslaw, if I put that inside my body, if I put red meat inside my body, which my mum used to make all the time for my dad and us. So these are the things that I realised was causing my body the attack. Now remember, it is the it's not the accelerator, it's something that makes the spark inside that kicks off everything in your stomach. What is IBS? I don't think it's a simple form of one thing. I think it's a mixture of many things. Now, I don't know if you know, but inside here is a brain. And if you take that away and pull the brain out, it looks very similar to your stomach if you pull your stomach out. So there is a connection between this here, but I believe that this up here is the tool brain and this down here is the emotional brain. So you know, if somebody says something horrible, it goes straight to your stomach. If somebody attacks you in any form, it goes straight to your stomach and you feel it. So it's coupled with emotions, and I think the most sensitive of us who worry, who are empathic, who feel very deeply and see things more than others because they're all too busy getting on with their life, which, you know, I sometimes wish I was that way. But we're not. So we feel things. Now, those two things put together are a time bomb for IBS. It's just a word, by the way. It's just an attack on the stomach. So your stomach's saying, stop! Okay, so I went to the hospital. I couldn't even tell you how many times. The doctors used me as a guinea pig because that's what the doctors do. Don't get me wrong, doctors are great and nurses are great. When we break our arm, they fix it, they're amazing. But a lot of the times what doctors do, I tell you the difference between a doctor and a psychic, a true psychic, a spiritual seer. A spiritual seer says, keep your mouth shut and I'll find out what's wrong with you. I can feel what's wrong with you. Let me do the talking. A doctor works on questions and answers. So they'll ask you questions and they'll break it down till they find out what they think it is. So they'll keep asking you. At times they don't know what it is, so they'll keep asking you. And then what they'll do is they'll use you as a rat or a guinea pig, and they'll just throw a tablet at you and say, try that. Right, try that. Okay, try that. And what happened to me over the years is just that. I took every single medication they could give me. Nothing worked at all. I had burying meals, burying enemas. I've told you before, I've had fingers up my bum by doctors. I've been in the most awful positions on machines and big machines that have spun me upside down, blah, 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 blah. I've had it all. Walk out of the hospital, attack again. Okay, so here's the thing. There came a point in my life, and I don't know if I ever told you this, but I had a hairdressing salon and a pair of scissors fell on the floor. I think Sam dropped them. And I had an attack again. And as I was driving the car to the hospital, I thought to myself, I cannot do this anymore. I realised at that point that I was so in fear, so worried, so panicking over the IBS, over everything in my life, emotionally and personally, that I realised I cannot live my life anymore like this. I can't do it. So I made a conscious decision that day, and I came home and I said to my wife then, Jackie, I can't do this anymore. And she said, fine. And we sold the business. We bought a mobile home and we went through France and we went to Italy in this mobile home, stopping off all the way through, the beautiful, beautiful parts of Italy. And I found myself at that point still having IBS, but not as much. Do you know how bad it was? When my attacks started, I used to run out of the car, jump out of the mobile home and run, and then do exercises to try and clear the pain, but it didn't always work. It did sometimes, but not always, if I caught it in time. So I had a divorce from Jackie, and then I had 7 years of, again, pain. I was taking a product called Paramol. That at that time was helping me a little bit. If I caught it fast enough and I knew it started kicking in, I'd take 2 Paramols and it'd help. But eventually that stopped working. So I ended up then getting married to Susie. And again, the same thing happened. I think we realised, or I realised, or she realised that this wasn't right. Something wasn't right. So we left and came to Spain. We got up to a magical mountain of Mias Pueblo, and I was in deep pain and suffering because I didn't know who I was, where I was going, and all of a sudden now I didn't have a job, and I had to look at myself. Oh my God. I can even see it now. It was the worst part of my life. I don't think there was a worse part of my life, because I looked at myself and oh my God, I hated myself. I hated every bit about myself. Attack again. So I started to, Susie was about to leave me. She couldn't cope with me neither. And all of these things it was awful. But then all of a sudden, somebody appeared in my life. And I've said to you before, when the pupil is ready, the teacher appears. And all of a sudden, I started finding myself walking a path of spirituality. First time in my life. Recognizing things because of my teacher telling me what was happening in my life. And all of a sudden, I got the awakening. Now, what the awakening is when you start to see things that you've never seen before. Like the lights coming on as you're walking past them on a night. Things moving in your bedroom. Ask Susie, she'll tell you. Sideboards moving, side tables moving, and things happening that you could never imagine. You're thinking it's all hocus pocus and nonsense, but I actually truly believe a lot of that is more energy, your energy awakening, and your energy can do many amazing things, okay? So don't think it's all about spirit, okay? It's about us. We're very powerful. So when you start to awaken, you've got this amazing energy. And all of a sudden, this amazing energy starts to heal you. And I'm telling you guys, and my hand on my heart, I started walking this spiritual path and started to learn how to heal. Meaning that I started to look at myself. That's true healing. When you look in yourself and you start to listen to yourself, and when you start to trust in yourself and not in everything out there, you start to heal. And I swear on my hand on my heart, over a period of a few months, I started recognizing that I was getting less and less stomach pains, and they're becoming less and less, not as like the attacks were terrible. I tell you, the attacks were so bad I'd rip my clothes off. The last attack, when I ripped my clothes off, every part of my clothes, I was screaming and saying to Susie, I want to die. And then 2 people from the helicopter sanitarium, they came up and stuck a needle up my bum, and I was out for 12 hours. That's how bad it was. But then it got better and better and better, and all of a sudden I started to meditate. I started to look at my life. I started to heal my life. I started to get rid of toxic people out of my life, family who used to call me and things like that. And I just thought, you know what, I don't need this. There's 7 billion people out there in the world. I'm going to surround myself with beautiful people. And thus the spiritual awakening starts. I started to look at myself and grow stronger and stronger and stronger. And the more I grew stronger, the less the attacks. And now I haven't had an attack in years. And guess what? I can eat eggs. I can eat red meat, which I don't. But if I want to, I can eat it. No attacks. I can eat coleslaw, no problem. I can eat anything. So, my dear friends, my message today is very simple. If you suffer from IBS, I believe you need to look at yourself a little bit harder. You need to work on yourself. You need to ask yourself the questions and not be frightened of who you are, and not be frightened of all the people who have upset you, who do upset you. You may need to change your life and say goodbye to certain people with love to heal yourself. You may need to leave your job and look for something else. You may need to change your whole life to be able to find you and your healing abilities inside. I believe that you are worth all of those sacrifices. Now, are they sacrifices? Well, I can tell you this with my hand on my heart, they weren't sacrifices, because I am amazingly, wonderfully happy, and I'm now able to help more people than I've ever helped before. So it wasn't a sacrifice. Actually, looking back, I was sacrificing my life. That was the sacrifice. So I would say change the chip, work on yourself, find your spiritual journey, work on kind of meditation if you can, healing, learn to heal, learn to heal. Yes, learn to heal, God damn it. Every child in the world should learn to heal. Every single child in school should learn how to meditate and learn how to heal the next person to them. Can you imagine how the world would change? They did it in Mias Pueblo here. My daughter came home and says, guess what? I said, what? We laid our hands on top of somebody else and gave them healing. And I was nearly crying. I said, are you kidding me? She said, yes. And you know, guess what happens? Bullying stops. Because the love that you give somebody next to you or in the room, they feel that. And then they realize that we're all lovely people. Healing does that. It makes you realize how beautiful each and every soul is. And that the pain and suffering that you can help them with, I've often said it, my greatest bully could have been my best friend, and I could have helped him in life if he'd have just let me. I want to help people, you know? So do you. We all do. We just need to understand that. But yes, learn how to heal. Go for a Reiki course. Go for a course somewhere. Learn. Doesn't matter. Just go and learn your gift of healing, because when you give healing, you receive healing. You instantly get this pour of energy that runs through you and goes into somebody else. Therefore, when you heal yourself, because you're getting the same energy through you. I think that's it, guys. I don't have any medical tips. I don't believe that any food or water or drinks that can make a difference. I ultimately believe that it is a life-changing transformation, that you become more awakened to yourself and to be true to yourself. That is the ultimate healing for your stomach and IBS. That's my message today. I know it's gone on a little bit long, but sometimes you have to say the whole story before it makes sense. You understand that? So I'm living proof that you can clear IBS, and I have medical records to prove it, that I was in hospital and from a kid. So it can disappear, it can go. So I hope this little video served you well, guys. And I know a lot of you have been asking me, please make a video on IBS. Well, my story is what I share with you. I don't know whether it'll work for you or not, but it did for me. Okay? So maybe something within this video may have just woken you up a little bit to maybe change something in your beautiful life. Okay? Have a great day, guys. Thank you for subscribing to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel, and have the best damn day of your life. Miracles happen. And don't forget, you are the miracle. You are amazing. And there's nobody as beautiful than you in this world. You are the only beautiful one in this world, with the most amazing gifts that only you have. You are amazing, and I know it. In fact, I know it more than you. And the day you realize that you have a gift, in fact, thousands of gifts, and if you realize that, if you start to focus on that and work on that, and then you come back to me and say, you know what, Mark, I have got these gifts, then I'll say, you've got it right. Because that isn't ego. That's a knowing of how powerful we are. Ultimate awareness and power inside each one of us. And once we become awakened to that, that is when our healing and our true life path starts. Okay. Bye, guys.